Hello, ladies and gentlemen. But first, this is and the most recent. Okay, so Magician's Apprentice, which is familiar. The plot of this story sees Davros passing away. The plot of this. Okay, so onto the plot of this two-part, and then finds out who that boy is, and it turns out to be, and then finds out that that boy, or at least the younger version of as Davros realizes, it was you. And so colony staff has been sent out to find the Doctor so that Davros can have one last meeting with him. Hang on a second. That sounds like... Oh my god, did Chris Chibnall steal this plot element for that story? To be honest, the whole Time is Child stuff sounds a lot like... Oh my goodness, it's... So that's basically the plot of The Magician's Apprentice and The Witch's Familiar. Alongside Deuce gives his confession dial to the Sisterhood of Khan to pass on to Missy, as we see in the prologue episode, The Doctor's Meditation, which does kind of feel like it's a deleted scene from this story. No, not The Doctor's Meditation. And we see in the prologue, which kind of ties in with his... but at time of this recording, I'm going to record those two minisodes. At time of this video going out, they should be out already, or it should be out if it's a joint review. But I think it's going to be two separate reviews. So those should be out. But at time of recording, I haven't done those yet, so I'll have to do those at a later point and get those out before this one. So I will, or in your case, have talked more about. So I will talk, or in your case, would have talked about those episodes more about themselves in their own reviews. Okay, I wasn't pissed off every other couple minutes, like all 12 series so far. Series 7's not sure whether he was wondering if it would change anything, or whether the fact he just didn't want to save Davros, but knew that Davros... But the conversations that they have together in the second episode, The Witch is Familiar, as fantastic performances as they are, it ultimately but despite all that, it's pointless. But despite all that, it's completely, utterly worthless, because they know. But despite that, it's completely and utterly worthless, because neither of them oh shit. But besides all that, it's completely and absolute. But besides all, the Doctor, with what he was talking about, likely meant nothing. The Doctor, with the conversations he and Davros were having earlier, like with Davros, probably meant fuck. All this emotional drama that is great means nothing. All this emotional... Again, I would say this was with the Doctor, it would be very seventh-y. Again with the Doctor, it'd be... Again, like with... But I think the Seventh Doctor wouldn't waste Davros' time just as much as Davros is wasting the... What's worse, Davros' plan backfires, and it wasn't into... My goodness, and the Daleks... Actually, the Daleks were very... They didn't have a very big presence in this story. Actually, the Daleks didn't have a very big presence. And it ended up, I suppose, causing some upset. And I could see... but this can't have been with... But on his... Not so much the more... that the tank being damaged would cause the... actually, that bit... So... What was he thinking? I don't know. Thank God. So thank fuck. But ultimately, they're still a bit wasted, and when they are, okay, Into the Dalek was a little bit miracles come in some, and even though I don't think even though Helen Rayner's one was but it was still a very good. And B, Moffat would then wait, and B, Moffat would then write Blink in its place. So almost wondering, but even some of those weren't very good. And well, okay, I wasn't really a fan of the jokes. I just preferred. Okay, I wasn't really a fan of the jokes. I actually. Okay, it wasn't the jokes I liked. It was Capaldi's execution of them, especially in this. Peter Capaldi is outstanding as the Doctor, and the Witch is familiar when he points the gun at Davros and barks, especially in the Witches, and in the Witches when the but to me before, of course I think he is a bit, and Capaldi just was one of my favourite Doctor, and this is a great example. But despite Capaldi's best efforts, and by that point we're starting her redemption arc. So yeah, I think this character's with this. What I mean with the difference between this character and mainly because she's more teamed up with Missy for most of the story rather than at least. Well, she's not terribly character driven or but for this episode, for this 2-part story in a series where she's going to be going back downhill after because she didn't start off in a very good because she didn't have a very good start with Series 7 Part 2. I thought that she had a great first 2 episodes and then it went downhill for the rest of the for Series 7. And then the 2013 specials, she was more or less there, kind of a bit. But besides that, she's kind of being a bit more. Would it be? Oh, what a surprise! I'm different to everybody else. Bring out the. Oh, what a surprise! I'm gonna. But at the very best average, between the Capaldi, between the scene where, Stephen Moffat, you realise it's the mutants inside the Daleks that who want to. Stephen Moffat, you realise it's the tank. I'll finish talking about this moment I started to. But he's like he's like seeming like a magician. The 12th Doctor is. He's seen. In fact, we don't really see much of the dark. In fact, we don't even know what happened. But yeah. But you know what? Whatever. But whatever, Chris. Say what you like about the episodes, but Chris Chibnall's best. As for the Magician's Apprentice and the Witch is Familiar, fuck off. But Doctor shit. Oh, if you insist, I'll see you mid-time next. If you insist, I'll see you mid-next series, because I couldn't be bothered to turn up later in this series again. Right, bye. I'm jumping ship. Yes. Yes. Good. Yes. Yes, I'm the Doctor. And I shave people. Oh. Ooh, come on. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the Nicholas Payne bonus content YouTube channel.